Okay, today I'm going to make, actually I saw a video on a wine box made out of scrap lumber, and as I've shown earlier I have a lot of small scrap stuff up there. So what I'm going to do is I got one down here that's pretty much the size that I want. I don't know if this will actually fit a wine glass, I mean a wine bottle. I'm just going to make it what I have for the first one and just see how it comes out. So I got a bunch of stuff gathered up here, different lengths, and I'm going to go through it, get all the pieces I need, and rip them all down to match that size. So bear with me and I will rip some of them down. Okay, so I got a bunch of them all ripped down. I got some more over here that's just off camera. What I'm going to do is get a little sample one here. I'm going to actually router them out a little bit so you can see you'll end up with a smoothed edge. I just did a test sample and I did do one whole strip that way so you can see it's routed on both sides. It'll make for a smooth finish. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back with you. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my vacuum control on, and also I'll try to quiet it down when I do the editing. Hopefully that'll work. And then we'll do one of these and show you what we're doing here for routing them over. Okay, so as you can see, it's all rounded over on all four sides, and also as you can see, you get really close because this is thin, so you got to really be super careful. As well as the fact when you do the two ends first, obviously, so you don't have rip out on your end grain, and then you can always clean it up when you do the sides. But when you do the first side, you're not so bad because you still have quite a bit of flat surface here. But when you flip it around to the other side, it's almost rounded now. So when you get to the end out here, it wants to rock. So if you do this, you got to be super careful and watch you don't rock it, and also, you know, tip your fingers into the blade, because that would not be a pretty sight. Okay, so I have all those pieces routed out. I'll slide them over here so you can see them. So, I don't even know how many I have, but let's see. So there's 17, so I probably have one extra. But anyways, so those are all routed out, and how I determined how many I needed, what I did was, I'm big for drawing on my work table, and I got to get rid of some of this glue. But basically it's going to be shaped, you can see this right here. This is the bottom, sides, and then it's going to have the top like this, and it'll be standing up, and the top will open like this and close, so it'll be a long box going this way. But I needed a template, so I just used a can, to get my top, and then square my lines off based on how many pieces that I had. So these will go like this all the way around. I'll have a bottom, and I'll run it through the table saw to cut the top off. So what I did, after I got that drawn on the table, I went and cut 2 pieces. I guess let me just readjust here a little bit. So these would be my 2 ends. Lift the camera up here. See it all right? And these will go, this is how it'll be sitting when it's done, and these will go all the way around. You know, something like this, just to kind of give you an idea. And once they're all glued and fastened, we'll cut the top off, put some hinges on it, and put a bottom on it, and we'll have a neat little box. So, alright, we'll keep working on it, and we'll be back with you in a little bit. We'll get these fastened on and see what it looks like. Okay, so I put one on the bottom of each side and one on the top, just to make sure everything was square and even on the ends. So we'll go ahead and put a few of these on. I'm just putting a little bit of glue and line it up. And I'm putting a brad nail in it. So we'll do a couple of these. We'll work our way all the way to the top, and then we'll get to see what it looks like when we're done. I did have to sand these, just each one of them, just a light pass over the drum sander on my drill, just so they would fit, because the last one was just really snug. So let me go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so you can see I got the pieces on all the way around. I don't have the bottom in it yet. Once we cut the top off, we'll do the bottom. Spacing seemed to work out pretty good. Got a little bit of a wider space right here, but that's okay. That's when I'm going to line the saw up to make my cut the top off. So should work out alright. So give me a second and we'll get this cut. Okay, so as you can see, the top is off now. I'll end up putting some hinges back here, and it should line up pretty darn good right there. I'll see what side looks better. I'll put the hinge on the side that's the worst so you don't see it. So it might be this way here. So we're going to go ahead and put a bottom in this, and we'll show you when we get to that point and when it's finished. Thanks for watching so far. Okay, so I'm just going to glue in some cleats on the bottom here. It'll sit this way, and then we'll end up cutting a bottom panel to drop in here. Just a minute. Just get a little glue on this. Hopefully I grabbed the right one. As you can probably hear, it's a really tight fit. Make sure it's level all the way around. I'll go ahead and I gotta change nail sizes, so we'll be right back. So I'm gonna go ahead and I had these in it for going through the longer stuff, but now I'm gonna go ahead and put some small ones in here just to tack in those cleats for the base. Don't want it to go anywhere. The glue will end up holding it ultimately, but till then, there we go, nothing came through. Good, that's what we want. This over. Put this one in here. And this is all just scrap pieces from cut-offs of other little projects here and there, but actually this whole thing was really built with scrap, so if you have scrap, this is something you certainly should be able to build. Okay, so I'll take a look, see what I can find for a base for this out of my scrap stuff, and we'll get that cut. What I'll do is I'll show you when we get the piece anyways, drawing it out to get the right size. So let me go see if I can find a piece for the base, and we'll be back with you in just a second. Alright, so I just found this scrap piece of plywood. It's quarter-inch plywood. Everything else is made out of this dark wood. And I gotta ask the guy to get it from. I'm not really sure what kind of wood this is, but I get a lot of scraps from, like I said in an earlier video, from a professional, high-end, fine cabinet maker, and he's very kind enough to let us have a lot of the scraps. So what I'm gonna do, and actually this came from him too, it was probably a template or something he used by the looks of it. I'm gonna put this upside down where the cleats are not at, so I get an accurate reading. I probably should have done that before I put these in, so it would have had it really perfect, but that fits on there perfectly. Again, all out of scrap. So I'm just going to draw down inside here to get the size that we need. So there we have it. I'll go and get this cut out, and we'll get back and see if it drops in. Alright, so got the base all cut out. You can see it's going to sit right down on those cleats, and this should just drop right in there. There we go. And from the bottom it looks like this. And by doing this, it gives it more of a professional look instead of just nailing the bottom on. And actually, like I said, I got this idea from another YouTube video, and I wish I could remember his name to give him the credit, but it was one of the guys that do a lot of woodworking. I think it was Garage Wood Shop, but I watch a lot of them. There's a lot of great ones out there. Steve Ramsey, Steve Carmichael, Laney, the Wood Whisperer. I'm sure it was one of them that I got it from. But they have a lot of great videos, so definitely check them out too. And I will make sure I find out who I got this idea from. But anyway, it does look a lot better than putting just the bottom on, just as he recommended. His obviously probably came out a lot nicer than mine, but let's see if I can find some hinges, and we'll get the top on it. We'll try to show you the finished product. Okay, I just come back for a quick second here because I happened to go inside to get a drink. And I just wanted to make sure I gave credit where credit was due. So I actually got this particular project from watching a YouTube video from Woodwork Web. So that's where I got this. All the other ones I mentioned are excellent ones as well as also I made the horse bench from Jay at Jay's Custom Creations. So all of them guys are great. This particular one, like I said, I watched on YouTube. It was built by Woodwork Web Productions. So I'm going to go ahead and find those hinges, and we'll be back shortly. Okay, just putting finishing touches on here. Found a couple old brass hinges. Actually, I couldn't find any at my place, but I went with Dad's. What I don't have, he probably has. So put a last couple screws in here and see how it came out. Okay, so got the hinges all on, and there's our little trunk. What I'll do is the screws, so the wood's really thin, the screws came through just a tiny bit, so I'm going to grind them down, and I'm going to probably end up lining the inside of this with felt anyway. And all I need left now is to get a little latch for it, sand it up, and there we go. We got ourselves little blocks. And the sizing is about right. If you put a little horseshoe shaped spaces in here, you could easily use this as a wine bottle box, even though the size was basically what I had for scraps. It just turned out to be just about right. So, thanks for watching. Like if you like. Please subscribe to my channel. And thanks again. Have a great day.